上履き、上履き。
上履き。
Hello, today is Thursday, June the 16th, 2016. I'm Rob Jones, and this is Keeping Up with the Joneses. 10 years ago today, The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift opened in US theaters. I was there, I saw it, I loved it, I still love it, and I'd rather be watching it right now. It's very difficult to track down the actual origin of a long thought process. Like, you could be years into a thought process and then try to think back to where it started, and you're never gonna find it. I'm fortunate enough to know exactly when my love and interest was sparked for Los Angeles. I love Tokyo Drift, right? And all of it was filmed in Tokyo. It wasn't, but as just a fan and a viewer, I wasn't thinking that. I was just thinking, all Tokyo, Tokyo's awesome, I love it. I was watching an episode of the TV show Life. And in that episode, I saw something that confused me. I saw Hans' garage in Los Angeles. The very instant that I saw it in the TV show Life. That's what started it.
Good.
And you're thinking, how can that be? Well, it's simple. Just like every other TV show and movie, they made some place here in Los Angeles look like Tokyo. Most of Tokyo Drift is filmed here in Los Angeles. There were parts of it that were filmed in Tokyo. Well, when I saw that, that renewed my interest in finding the locations in which it was filmed, because I'd already looked up one previous location, the soccer field. I love the soccer field. That's actually in Tokyo. And I found that one already. But when I found Hans' garage, that sparked a thought to me. Hey, that's really cool. I want to go to Los Angeles and check out the location where Hans' garage was filmed. So after a few hours of searching at Google Maps, I found Hans' garage in Los Angeles. It was right next to the 6th Street Bridge, practically underneath it. And I thought to myself, hey, other people might want to know where this movie was filmed at. So I created a website, tokyodriftmovie.us, and I started posting my findings. My interest in Los Angeles continued to grow after that moment. But it took a couple of years before it occurred to me, hey, I could live there. So in 2010, Karen, Allyson, and I, we needed to move. And some events happened, and then we all decided, hey, let's try Los Angeles. So we moved here to Los Angeles. And one of the things that I love about Los Angeles is seeing all of the places that all movies were filmed. It is just fascinating to see that stuff. Within our first month of living here in 2010, I met son Kang. I know, right? He had a restaurant in Brentwood, and we went there for lunch, and it was an amazing restaurant. We loved it. And I asked the server, would Sung be in? And he said no, he believed he was out of town, but he hadn't heard from him recently. And I said, oh, okay. So we're sitting there eating our food, and I look over towards the door, and there's Sung, just standing there doing something near the entrance. I didn't want to let that opportunity pass me by. So I said, hey, Sung, and I waved him to come here. And fortunately, he did. Very nice, very cordial, put up with me, introduced myself. I completely forgot Karen and Allyson were there. I did not introduce them because I was very starstruck. You have to imagine, very. So that was amazing to get to meet Sung. And then after we left Saketini, we went to the La Brea Tar Pits, and then I recorded a video. I'll include a link maybe up here and in the description to that video, and all other Tokyo Drift related videos that I have. I'll put those in the description.
Good.
We did not live in LA 2011 through 2014. If we were here, we were only vacationing. But we moved back last summer, 2015, permanently. I really wanted to record today's episode at Hans' garage. I'd been there several times. I'd been there in 2010. I'd been there in 2011, 2014, and then we moved here last year in 2015. Allyson was working Best Friends Whenever in downtown Los Angeles, and it was only a 4-mile walk from there to the bridge, 6th Street Bridge in Han's garage. So I thought, she'll be working for a while, I'll go for a long walk. To my disappointment, the 6th Street Bridge renovation program, rebuild, they're gonna tear it down and build a new one. Han's garage and the entire surrounding buildings had already been leveled. So disappointingly, I couldn't film this episode there today, which I had been thinking about for a long time. So that didn't happen. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna take a trip and I'm gonna see if I can film some of today's episode in the parking garage for Tokyo Drift, which is in Hawthorne, California, right next to El Segundo, where we lived in 2010, even though I never went there. It was only like a few miles away from where we were staying. But first, I'm gonna put on my Han Lives t-shirt and go check it out. In the section behind me, if you remember when DK and Sean were racing and then DK spins around and Sean went around the corner and smashed that car, that's right here. The parking garage used in Tokyo Drift is pretty much locked down because it's no longer being used as a mall. However, the ramp that DK drifted up is right there. That's the ramp. Even though it's closed off today, what you see behind me is the top of the parking garage used in Tokyo Drift. And at the end down there is where DK drifted up the circular ramp onto the platform. And I'm going to show you a clip of me in front of Han's garage from a couple years ago. What's up, Tokyo Drift fans? I'm Rob Jones and I'm in front of Han's garage. Awesome. When we vacationed here in 2014, we saw a double feature at the New Beverly Cinema. Second movie was Tokyo Drift, and then afterwards there was a Q&A with the director Justin Lin, editor Raskin, composer Brian Tyler, one of the actors Nikki Griffin. And that was a lot of fun, but that was the first time that I had met any of them. Ironically, of all of them, the only one who actually knew who I was Brian Tyler. And then this year, 2016, they had a 10th anniversary screening of Tokyo Drift, and that was a lot of fun. Sung was there, so I got to see him again. Justin was there, and then Leonardo Nam, that's the first time I met him. And that one, it kind of solidified all of the effort that I had gone into to promote and share and enjoy Tokyo Drift. Justin knew who I was, Sung knew who I was, and that's fun for a fan, for the principal creators of something to know who a fan is. An individual fan, not just part of a group.
Good.
Afterwards, there was a Q&A, and it's usually where the audience asks questions of the participants, like Justin and Sung and Leo. Ironically, Justin Lin had a question for me.
Yeah, right here in the front. How many times have you seen the film, Rob?
This was my 200th viewing of Tokyo Drift.
Wow.
Justin, at the 10th anniversary screening of Tokyo Drift, you asked me towards the end of the event how many more times I was going to watch Tokyo Drift. Well, my brain went into math mode, which is not a good thing. And I gave some weak answer.
Hey Rob, so how many more times are you going to see it?
I was just showing Jimmy. How many more times am I going to see it?
Infinity, man.
I tell you what, I would say at least 50 over the next couple years.
Nice.
That's a fan, guys.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks so much, everybody. Justin Lynn, Sean Kang, thanks everybody for coming out.
The answer has always been the same. It just didn't come to me at the moment. As soon as the event was over and I was leaving, I knew what my answer should have been. So here's my answer to how many more times I'm going to watch Tokyo Drift. Tokyo Drift is not just entertaining, but it makes me feel young. There's something about it that that just speaks to me. It's different. I loved the fact that it was Japanese. I've always been a fan of Japanese content. As long as it continues to make me feel good and put a smile on my face and make me feel young and make me think of great memories and the awesome music, then I won't stop watching it. So the number doesn't matter. That's my answer to your question. On my website, tokyodriftmovie.us, one of the first articles that I wrote on there was, "It's the same Han." The actor Sung Kang, who plays Han in Tokyo Drift, also played a character in Better Luck Tomorrow, one of Justin Lin's earlier films. I compared the two films very closely, and if you go to the article on my website, you will see that the character that Sung played in Better Luck Tomorrow lived a very similar life to the character that he played in Tokyo Drift, which was Han. So I took snapshots from each movie and then compared them. And the title of the article is It's the Same Han. And one of the first people that thanked me for my support on that article was Sung Kang. And that was pretty cool. That was a long time ago, though. Well, that was long before Justin Lin officially confirmed that the character Han from Better Luck Tomorrow is the same character in Tokyo Drift. So here's my website, tokyodriftmovie.us, and the article, It's the Same Han. And I start out by showing you pictures. The very first picture in the series, Better Luck Tomorrow, Tokyo Drift. Better Luck Tomorrow, Tokyo Drift. And it goes on, and it shows how the same character is doing the same things in both movies. Personality traits. We get to the bottom, and we see that on June 28th, 2009, Sung Kang commented, "This is great, amazing post, Rob. Thank you for your support. Han will live on to make more comparisons." In Better Luck Tomorrow, Han's character was very rough, very raw. By the time we get to Tokyo Drift, he was more mature, very calm, very thoughtful. And in the scene where Sean beats Morimoto to the top of the garage as he drifts up that round ramp, DK hands Han the keys to the AE86 Corolla that they were racing for, and Han says, "Pleasure doing business."
Pleasure doing business.
Well, at the end of Tokyo Drift, Vin Diesel's character, Dom, tells Lucas Black's character, Sean, that he won that car, the American Muscle car, from Han.
Nice ride.
I won it from my friend Han a few years ago.
I wrote a small story that leads up to Han losing that car to Dom. And what's clever about that little story that I wrote is that you learn where Han learned that phrase from.
Good.